Over the next 4 years, the call to support underserved populations is only going to grow louder and more urgent. Your mission is their hope. And to achieve that impossible dream, your nonprofit is going to need all the funding it can get. The challenge is the number one source of that funding, grants, are difficult to get. A decent grant writer is hard to find, expensive, and time consuming. I've been told it can take upwards of 40 hours just to do the research necessary to find potential matching grants. But what if all that didn't have to take 40 plus hours? Today, I'm going to show you a solution. If you don't know me, I'm Alexander Velichko, and I've achieved conversion lifts of up to 8 times for small businesses and enterprise companies using an exact marketing methodology that's been tested and proven over 25 years. Recently, I was invited by a nonprofit consulting firm, ESH, the Executive Service Corps of Houston, who represents over 3,800 nonprofits in the greater Houston area. They invited me to demonstrate the world's first dedicated AI agent that writes and researches grant proposals without prompt engineering. You're going to watch exactly what the webinar participants were amazed by. 40 plus hours of research and writing condensed into under 10 minutes, all achieved with nothing but the sound of my voice and a few voice commands, and the input of an executive director who was on the call. The future of nonprofits lies in efficiency, effectiveness, and lightweightness. And if you're not a part of that future, your nonprofit, I'm sorry to say this, is going to lag behind. So join me, watch, learn, and enjoy. All right, select the AI Grant Writing Pro, and I'm simply going to type go so that we can start, and it will ask you its requirements. Hello, I'm Grant Pro Advisor. Crafting a successful grant proposal is indeed an art form blended with scientific precision. On average, professionals may spend up to 40 hours writing a grant at $20 to $25 an hour. My objective is not just to save you time, but also to enhance the quality of your proposals. So let's begin with the introduction and needs assessment. Stephanie, do you have a brief summary of your project, including its goals, objectives, and the problems and needs you'd intend to address? As for the grantor's part, we can let the AI help with that. Stephanie, if you have a project summary ready, you're welcome to paste it into the chat. Otherwise, if you can either type it or unmute yourself and speak, I can give it as much details as you have.
Okay, hi, this is Stefan, but I do have one.
No worries, Stefan.
It's okay. I do have one. I'm glad to paste it.
Excellent. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. So, Horizon Charity Services. Am I pronouncing that correctly, Stefan?
Yes.
Awesome. Thank you. So it's basically summarized what your project specializes. I'll begin searching for potential grantors offering grants that may match OCS's comprehensive service offerings. And and you might have noticed that it paused for a moment. Guys, if you're not speaking, I would appreciate it if you could mute your microphones. Thank you very much, because I want this to be as seamless and uninterrupted as possible. Departments of Veterans Affairs, the VA Careers in Employment website, State Department of Health and Human Services, Community Services Boards, next step in development strategy. Then your next steps is to upload the data for your proposal and research findings. Absolutely crucial, because it's not going to prepare a draft proposal and it wouldn't make sense to present it to the foundation without having that data. Clearly outline how each of your programs is going to directly impact your target demographic. Given the spiritual guidance component of OCS, exploring grantors that specifically fund faith-based initiatives, and especially those emphasizing interfaith and community service aspects, could open additional funding streams. All right, Stefan, the ball's in your court. The next step is that it does require the data in order to continue.
I don't have any data. I don't have any data right now.
It's okay. Let's interact. Let's tell it that and see what it happens. And see how I'm asking an open-ended question, what next? Start with publicly available data and research in the populations and issues your programs address. This can include veteran homelessness rates, mental health statistics, employment challenges among veterans, and the benefits of community and spiritual support. What I can do is I can ask it to perhaps look at the VA website and perhaps take some data points. Define your impact measurement framework. Develop a clear framework for how you intend to measure the impact of your services. Craft a narrative around the existing needs. Consider partnering with academic institutions and incorporate your budget for research and data collection efforts, something else the foundations are looking for. Your budget should reflect costs related to staffing for program delivery and evaluation, data collection tools, partnerships or consultancy fees. Stefan, do you have some of these things ready? And I'm not asking you to provide it right now if you can't, but do you at least have your budget? Do you at least have your budget and your expenses ready?
Not yet. I'm still working on it.
All right. So we're just going to skip right ahead in the process and ask it to basically flesh out a draft grant proposal. Check this out. Still working on the budget, period. We don't have it completely fleshed out, but I would like you to create a draft grant proposal with all the elements we have so far, period. For anything we don't have yet, such as the specific data and the budget, comma, simply create placeholders, period. We'll go back and reinsert those later, period. As for the broad data, comma, you can simply go to the sorry about that. Back to the sources that you cited, such as the VA, and take the broad data and insert it and simply put a placeholder for more specific data, period. Thank you so much for your research, period. And there we go, and there we have it. We have placeholder for a table of contents. And we have an overall structure. We have an overall structure for the grant proposal. And you can ask it to write out each section one by one. Now let's get into actually writing the grant proposal, period. Please give me the executive summary and introduction, period. Now, as a general rule of thumb, when you're interacting with AI, I like to be polite. I ask it, please. Horizon Charity Services is seeking insert specific grant amount and funding to enhance and expand its comprehensive grant support services tailored for veterans, non-veterans, and their families facing challenges in housing, healthcare, mental health support, and employment. Leveraging the compassionate teachings of the Catholic faith, OCS also provides spiritual guidance through its unique French Catholic radio station, creating a community of faith, reflection, and unity. VA, in most recent year of data, and this is a placeholder, reported that insert key statistic, e.g. over 37,000 veterans were homeless on any given night. Mental health issues, unemployment, and the struggle for community reintegration further exacerbate the predicament faced by veterans and their families. OCS's project is aimed at addressing these critical gaps through tailored support services that encapsulate housing assistance, healthcare access, mental health counseling, and employment training programs, all underpinned by spiritual nourishment and guidance. Introduction. Established in, and you fill in the year it was established. Horizon Charity Services has been at the forefront of providing essential support services to veterans, non-veterans, and their families. Operating in such and such locations, OCS has grown from a grassroots initiative into a pivotal support pillar for our community. What do you think, Stefan?
It's great.
Now you see how much time this saves you guys. I want to ask you all. Let me ask you all. How much time does it normally take you guys to otherwise not just write the grant proposal, or have someone, even a volunteer, write the grant proposal and do all this research, find the foundations and their specific requirements. And any of you provide figures as to how much time it takes you or a grant writer to do it. 40 hours. So these suggested 40 hours. I'm just surveying the audience for real figures here. A lot of time and money. Well, it's not a number, but I can only imagine what that means. All right, so before we proceed to the next part, the time could spend on research alone could be 40 hours. There you have it. See? And we just spent like 5-10 minutes doing the research that would otherwise have taken 40 hours to complete. Wasn't that amazing? Like I told you, this is the future of nonprofits. And if you would like access and to do the same, the great news is that power is in your hands right now as we speak. The agency intelligence grant writer that you just saw me demonstrate is free to use for up to 10 interactions. You can access it right now in the description, play back this video again, and follow what I did step by step to prepare this grant proposal for Stefan so that you can prepare a grant proposal for your own organization. Check out my other videos on AI for nonprofits, including an email invitation that Ash asked me to write for their 40th anniversary gala, and it had a fantastic turnout. If you would like more videos like this on AI and simplification, thumbs up, hit subscribe, and of course, hit the bell to get notified. Thank you so much for watching.